Check out a 2-5-1. Now when I add modal interchange, it could be this. Or this. Or this. Now what am I doing there? What is modal interchange? Let's scale the conversation back to what subdominant, tonic, and dominant chords are in the key. Real quick, if I'm in the key of C, C and A minor are home. Sad home, happy home. If I have F and D minor, the 2 and 4 chord in the key, they create distance from home. They're like going somewhere else, going to the store. Home, the store. Home, the happy store. Sad home, happy store. Sad home, sad store. That's the basic idea. Dominant chords, chords with a dominant function, the 7 and the 5 of the key, pull me places. They're the phone call to go home. Secondary dominants are the phone call to go to the store. Diminished chords are also a phone call to go places. They have a dominant function. Modal interchange is when I take a look at the parallel modes of C Aeolian and draw the subdominant chords from them. Now I know that that sounded like what the fuck is that guy talking about, so let's make sense of this thing. First of all, a parallel key is what happens when I ask myself which major keys have the note C in them. I'm going to find that 5 keys don't have C and 7 keys do have the note C. Now the keys that have the note C are more related in sound to C Aeolian, where all of my chords come from. Okay, so how can I possibly locate them? Well, it's easier than you think. C Aeolian comes from the key of C. C Dorian comes from the key of B flat. C Phrygian comes from the key of A flat. C Lydian comes from the key of G. C Mixolydian comes from the key of F. C Aeolian comes from the key of E flat. And finally, C Lokrian comes from the key of D flat. So these are the 7 keys that give me the parallel modes. Well, what do I need to do to get the modal interchange sounds? Well, I'll go to each one of these keys and pull out their Dorians and their Lydians, meaning their 2 minors and their 4 majors, and put them back inside the key of C. Now, how can I use it? You can use it like a composer in place of your subdominant chords, or you can use it like a modern jazz player for superimpositions. For the sake of this video, we're just going to look at it like a composer. So I have a 2-5-1. That's subdominant, dominant, tonic. Store, phone call to go home, home. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different store, right? I'm gonna go somewhere else with that 2 chord. So the first pair of chords I'm gonna pull are going to be from Dorian. So that's the key of B flat. I have C minor 7 and E flat major 7. That's the 1 minor 7 and the flat 3 major 7. Now that flat 3 major 7 is by far the more common thing to take. So here's E flat major 7, G7, C. That's pretty cool sound. Something I can do is play a 2-5 to 1 minor. Right? A deceptive resolution like that to just go modal interchange for a second. That's a pretty cool tool. Let's check out Phrygian. Phrygian gives me 2 chords as well. I get the flat 7 minor 7, B flat, and the flat 2 major 7. Those are super common for outros in jazz. Like an outro, instead of 1 to go flat 2 major 7, pretty dope. Or now we're going to go to Lydian. Lydian gives me two chords that I already have in my Ionian, meaning the key of G major gives me C major and A minor. I don't really want those. To understand deeply what we do for Lydian, join our Patreon. $5 a month gets you tabs, notation, access to all that stuff. And we did a full course on this topic, really breaking it down. But I'll just tell you without really explaining, you get F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And that's a cool sound, kind of like John Mayer. Right? I like that. It's in tunes like Night and Day. So I'm pulling the 7 chord from Lydian. Next one is Mixolydian, pulling from the key of F major. Now that one gives me G minor, 5 minor, and B flat major 7, flat 7 major 7, kind of like a Coldplay tune. Pretty cool sound. Next one, Aeolian, Beatles. If I'm taking from the key of E flat, what chords do I get? F minor, my 4 minor. Aeolian. Now I'm playing F Dorian, but I'm pulling from C Aeolian, meaning the key of E flat major. I also get A flat major 7, which gives me that Matheny sound. A flat Lydian. It's a cool sound. This one is a very West Montgomery kind of sound. You get this. Very cool sound. Also, I can suspend the resolution to the 1 chord and go to flat 5 Lydian instead, like 2, 5. Now, all of the major 7s that come from modal interchange are great for modern jazz, for outros and intros. You hear these all the time in the key of C. Just these parallel motions between Lydian chords. Now you have a name for them. Now you have a reason for seeing them in a tune where you know you're not modulating, you're just touching them for a second. You're creating that distancing back into your tonic. And now you know where it all comes from. So if you dig this, please join our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to everything, tabs, notation. For higher tiers, you get lessons and stuff like that with me personally. So check it out, subscribe, like, do all the things. We'll see you next time.